righty. Newton's Cradle, guys, is back in action.
It's operational.
It is operational.
It only took a week, but Chandler got
Only
it.
a week. But we have it ready for this episode of Off Trail with Luke and Chandler. I'm Luke.
I'm Chandler.
And this is Off Trail. So we figured out what the name of this was. I thought it was Archimedes something, and I was close.
Super close.
Only off by, over 1,000 years.
Yeah.
But it was a philosopher nonetheless.
It was a good guess in theory.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got that working. We'll throw that on the desk now. For those of you repeat listeners, you understand the joke behind that now. So that's good.
Got to be a repeat listener on this show sometimes.
Yeah, go watch the last episode. You might understand what we're talking about. But today we are here. We're going to talk about kind of the outdoor scenes in the West. Talk about the different states, some of the differences and stuff. Specifically, we were asked to do an episode by our friend Nick Amp to rank Utah in all the different outdoor scenes. Where does Utah stand? And we're going to talk about that, and then we'll play another new game. Guys, I had lots of new games for us for the show.
Some good games lately.
I'm doing my best. Trying to
it.
provide good entertainment value for the folks at home.
You're a great host, man.
But I think this one will be fun, and it's fitting for the episode too. So be a good tie-in. But
Cool.
Before we get there, we'll make sure we take care of the show. If you are watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate that. It's the best thing you can do for us. And make sure you like the video and leave a comment. Especially if you disagree with some of my takes at the end. You probably will. So I'd love to hear that from you guys. We're also on all major podcasting platforms. So if you're listening to the audio-only version, wherever you like to listen to it from, please leave us a 5-star review. Again, even if you disagree with my takes, we'd still appreciate a 5-star review because we, aside from any disagreements you and me might have, we still deserve the 5 stars.
We do.
We do a good job here on the
Yep,
show.
we do.
So with that, we're going to move into the topic for today, and that is, again, suggested to us by our friend Nick Amp. He wanted us to talk about where we think Utah ranks in the outdoor scenes in all the states out here in the West.
Silly question, though, if you ask me.
It really is, Nick. I mean, come on. We live in Utah, and that's for a reason. Because we think it's the best. If we wanted to be somewhere else, we would live somewhere else. I had the chance to move to Denver. There's a reason I didn't take it. Though I didn't understand at the time, to be honest. But I do now.
It's all right, though. We've got plenty of reasoning for why.
Yes, and we're gonna talk about that. Yeah. And then we're also going to talk about all of the other states and how we might rank those without Utah being in the mix. So we'll, again, kind of dodging your question a little bit, Nick, but we're kind of addressing it still.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Let's talk about Utah, guys. So, I mean, you've been here your whole life, Chandler.
Yeah.
You moved here when, BDOTES?
2019.
Okay, and I moved here in 2021. So we've all been here. Obviously, Chandler's been here for a
Born
long
and
time.
raised. Yep.
But we've all lived here for a little while now. And again, we choose to call this place home for a reason. That's because it's amazing. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It won't be. Just like other states aren't where we want to be. And I think for me, I'll start us off. One of the reasons I think Utah is just amazing is just the amount of options and variety that we have at our disposal. Especially living in Salt Lake. It's kind of a central hub for a lot of different things. We have the amazing desert down below us, and desert dogs like ourselves can enjoy going down there from time to time, make an easy weekend trip out of that if we like. We have mountains. I mean, we live at the base of the Wasatch. I mean, we are 10 minutes from the canyons. It's different from Denver. And so we have easy access to mountains and hiking now, albeit they're not the biggest mountains, but they're mountains nonetheless.
Yeah. And they're pretty good. I mean, they're not bad mountains.
You still get great elevation gain
Yeah.
on these hikes. I mean, it's...
I mean, we don't have, Colorado's 14,000 foot mountains, but I mean,
But I don't got to drive 2 hours to get to them.
Yeah, we don't have to drive 2 hours. And I mean, we still have, 10, 11,000 feet. It's not like we're...
Well, how high is Timp right here next to us?
Just shy of 12.
Yeah, that's right in our backyard.
Yeah.
And so that's not an easy hike.
No.
So, I mean, that's, we have that right with us. And we have the Uintas further east in the northeast corner of the state that, I think that's mostly above 10,000 feet, that whole area, really.
Yeah.
So significant. You know, again, there's no 14ers out there. We don't have a 14er in Utah at all. The highest we have is Kings Peak, which is a 13er, but we don't have anything higher than that. But we have all that. The Salt Flats are out in the west. I mean, it's just the Great Salt Lake. Like we just have a lot of good diversity of things you can go see and change things up with. You know, you don't have to go into the mountains all the time. If you want to go to the desert, go to the desert. If you want to go out to the Salt Flats, you can go there. But even, again, this is now getting into other states, but being in Salt Lake, you have easy access to the Tetons, to Idaho. You can easily get to Arizona for a weekend if you wanted to, Colorado. Like, you have access to all these places. And if you live somewhere else, it's not quite the same. Whereas being here, you just got so many different things you can do, and you can change it up all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You and I have talked about this so many times. But being in Salt Lake, I mean, you draw a 6-hour radius, you know, around where we're at. And we have, I mean, Yellowstone National Park, Teton National Park, all 5 of Utah national parks.
That's 7 national parks already. You got Great Basin.
Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many.
You have Mesa Verde. You have Black Canyon.
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain's not much farther.
Yeah.
Like, you legitimately have, within a 6-hour radius, if you go 8 hours or 10, like, you have 10, 15 national parks.
Yeah.
That you can go to. And the funny thing is, we still don't even go to all those all the time. We go other places. The Uintas is not a national park. It's national forest. But we go there too. You know, we have the mountains right next to us.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want to go anywhere on a weekend, well, we'll just go in our backyard right here in the mountains.
Just go on a hike, yeah. Or we'll even go camping. I mean, there's so much to do just right here.
Yeah, you know, and it's one of those things, like, we have almost unlimited options of what we could do. You know, think of all the hikes that we have right in our backyard. You don't have to do the same hike twice if you don't want to within 3 years, practically.
No,
I still choose to do Lake Blanche 5 times a year.
Because you're obsessed.
But you have so many choices.
I was going to say, you can hike Lake Blanche and be overlooking Canyonlands in the same day.
Yeah.
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 You actually can. I mean, it's funny you say that, because I've done that. Spent one night and one morning in the Salt Flats, and then literally the same day I was in Capitol Reef National Park.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
you know, and it's one of those things, like, you can just do whatever you want, you know, and everything's, like, just close.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess for me, like, the definition of close has changed a little bit, because before, like, when I was living in the Midwest, you know, 4-hour drive, you're like, that sucks.
yeah.
And out here, it's like, I will do 4 hours in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
easy. Yeah.
Like, and, you know, around New Year's, I drove 7 hours in a day from one part of Death Valley to another, and then the next day I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna drive home like 9 hours, and it's like, it just doesn't phase you anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have everything so close. I mean, you can hit multiple national parks in a day or a weekend. You know, like, I've always said, doing Bryce Canyon and Zion in the same weekend is very doable.
I did Capitol Reef, Bryce Canyon, and Zion in one day, one time.
Yeah. Well, you're crazy.
Yeah. But it's possible. That's the thing, though.
It's so close.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you do all of those parks in one day, like, you're not going to really get to
You
experience
can't
those
do
parks.
it all, but like,
But
like, I'll tell you what, like, Zion and Bryce, you can do, and you can actually do them.
Yeah.
In a weekend.
yeah.
Like, I've taken my mom in 2022 for Mother's Day. I took her and did that. You know, that little loop there, and she had a great time. And we actually got to see a good chunk of both parks. And it's stuff like that. You just, I don't know. It's hard to beat, I feel like, if you go anywhere else.
Oh, yeah. No, there really isn't a lot of other places like this. So
I feel like it's almost hard to understand it without experiencing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like, if mountains are your thing, well, you might like Colorado more.
Yeah.
You know, if you like water, and especially if you like water, Utah's not going to be your place.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Because that's one thing we kind of lack, is water.
Yeah.
But if you like water, beaches, or like just coastline, then the PNW, California, might be your place.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, kind of. I kind of disagree, because Utah has the largest body of, I believe it's the largest body of fresh water west of the Mississippi in the Utah Lake. So, and then you also have the Great Salt Lake, which is
I would put fresh in quotation marks.
fresh. Yeah. I mean,
Don't take our word on that.
Yeah,
It's not
no.
very
You don't
fresh.
I mean,
wanna
it's
drink it.
technically fresh water, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it's not like we have all the great waterfalls.
No,
Or like,
yeah.
you know, beaches. It's stuff like that, you know, we don't have great water spots.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, if that's your cup of tea, then this isn't going to be a state for you.
Yeah.
Go to the PNW. Go to California.
Mm-hmm.
You know, find somewhere that has that stuff. But for the most part, we have something that can fulfill a lot of people's wishes,
Yeah.
what you want to get out of things. You know, and it's not like, you know, another great example. Like we have a buddy Ashton who's from eastern Montana, and you know, you're like, oh, Montana, that's pretty cool. Glacier's up there. It's not bad. You're kind of close to Yellowstone too. Well, depending on where you live in a state like that, you are not close to those things.
Yeah.
Ashton's like 12 hours from Glacier.
You know, I saw a stat the other day that said that it is, and I don't remember the exact town, but I think it's maybe St. Mary or one of the towns that's like right outside of Glacier.
Right.
It is faster to drive from Glacier National Park to Texas than it is to drive from Glacier National Park to the eastern border of Montana.
I highly disagree with that, but maybe, I guess.
Yeah. No, you Google Map it. You Google
That
Map
sounds
it.
bizarre.
Yeah,
but
no, it is.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah,
Do it.
BDOTES, let's get a
Well,
fact check on that.
I don't remember the town, but you have to find like the right town.
Yeah, BDOTES, let's get a fact check on that, okay?
Yeah.
But,
So I'm talking like the top of Texas.
Yeah, sure,
so,
whatever, man.
yeah.
Okay. We'll see if you're right.
All right.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, if you don't live in the right place in one of the other states, like you don't have as much close to you, or you might just be a lot more of the same stuff. Because I think of the PNW. You know, I took a trip through Oregon. You did the same thing, and to me, granted, the coast and like Central Oregon, it's different for sure. But to me, it's all kind of the same vibe. And it's like if I go up there, like yeah, it'd be fun, and I enjoyed visiting. But I wouldn't want to live there because, like, I just feel like you can't get out of it as much. And Eastern Oregon's got a little bit more like the deserty feel a little bit.
Oregon's it's kind of like it's got a lot of diversity, kind of like what Utah does. It's different stuff, but it's a little more diverse.
But like, I just feel like if I'd ever want like a quick change, like it's harder to get a change from like a real significant change than you can get here in Utah because, again, I can go down to the desert one week and the next week and I'd be high up in the mountains.
Yeah.
You know, just the way it is. And I think for me, that's a big part of, you know, why I love living here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm totally in the same boat. I mean, not only would my mom kill me if I moved away.
Well, there's that too.
You know, I obviously have family keeping me here, but like, even if I didn't have family, I wouldn't leave. Yeah. Because I don't see a reason.
Okay, BDOTES, you're smiling. Do you have an answer for us on that fact check?
Yeah, I don't think. I think you had the wrong state.
I don't think I did.
No? Okay. So I did St. Mary's, Montana, and then I picked one of the highways going to North Dakota. It was like 8 hours, 18 minutes. And then I picked one of the top little highways into the top of Texas, and it was 18 hours.
Yeah, dude, there's no way. I'm telling you, there's no way.
Oh, I saw this. Okay, I'll have to find it again. I have to find it again.
Yeah, that's just so far. I mean, because again, I believe Ashton said 12 hours to Glacier, right? And that's basically across the whole state.
It was for sure 7 to Tetons or Yellowstone.
Yeah, but that's
I'll find it. I'll have to find it.
That's 12 hours. I mean, you think about driving 12 hours south. I mean, it's basically 10 hours from here to Glacier.
Yeah.
So you got to still get all the way through Colorado and New Mexico to get to Texas.
I'll look it up.
You
okay. I'll have to look it up.
You just got to use your head. It's logic, and you'll see that you're probably wrong. But
no, I'm going to find this. I'm going to prove. I'm going to redeem myself.
It still doesn't change the fact that Utah's number one.
That doesn't.
It doesn't.
The fact,
and thank you for getting us back on track.
Okay.
Yes,
Dare I
thank
say
you.
on trail?
That's right.
But no, that's Utah is just I don't know. It's a place. Again, if
it is a place.
If you don't enjoy the desert, it's going to be harder to like the state.
Yeah.
And the desert is not for everyone. You know, I think about like, you know, my family has come out and seen it and they like visiting, but I don't think they'd like living here.
Yeah.
And it's just, it takes a certain kind of person to want to be in that environment all the time.
Yeah. I think that's maybe why I like it so much because like I've lived in both. Like I live here in Salt Lake now, but then I grew up in, you know, the desert where it was 120 degrees in the summertime. You know, like I love both. So I think that's part of why I like it so much.
Yeah. So it's just different. And so you have to kind of know, I think, what you're getting into and what it's going to be like. And if it's for you, it's for you. Like you're going to love it. And not to mention all the different kinds of activities you can do too. You know, we don't participate in half of them because one, you don't have time to do all of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, basically any outdoor activity you could ever want to do, you can do in Utah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. Like Utah is one of the mountain biking capitals of the world.
Yeah.
Utah is also one of the skiing, snowboarding capitals of the world. Like,
Yeah. The only thing off the top of my head I don't think you can do here is surfing.
Yeah.
Though you could could technically do that behind a boat on Lake Powell,
Yeah.
probably. But it's not the same as surfing in the ocean.
let's just say Utah is so cool that we had the Olympics here in the early 2000s, in 2002, and they're coming back.
We might be getting them back.
We might be
again.
getting them back.
That's
Yep.
exciting.
So-
So I do work up in Park City where they will be held, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, that would be horrible. Yeah. Luckily, it's in like 5 years. So
I thought it was in like 10 years.
no, I thought it was 2030.
I guess it is like 5 years.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think Utah is just it's a phenomenal place if you're really inclined to take advantage of what it has to offer.
Yeah.
You know,
And the craziest part is, I would not have known any of this if my uncle hadn't brought us backpacking here.
yeah,
I would never have known.
Where'd you go backpacking?
Uintas.
Oh.
Yep.
yeah. You know, it's just there's so
If
much
you
to do.
listen to the podcast I was on, you would know.
Yeah, come on, Chandler.
Are you Rick, man?
Do you even support him?
I do. I support him. So
Just
much.
kidding. It's okay. But yeah, we went up to the Uintas, and yeah,
Yeah, and I think another point I'd like to make too, and this, is kind of just diving one stage deeper into like the whole diversity thing that we have here is that go like to the desert alone, and how much diversity is in the desert.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
yeah.
Like going west to east across the entire section of southern Utah, there it just changes.
Yeah.
Like all the national parks are different from each other.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
5.
There's 5 of them.
And
yeah.
they're fairly close
Yeah.
to each other, but none of them are the same.
like St. George Desert is much different than Moab.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the desert is just one of these places. Like everywhere you go, it's totally different.
Yeah.
And and for us, especially as photographers too, we just thrive in that. We're like, this is amazing.
It's incredible.
It's exactly
yeah.
what you want.
Yeah.
And dare I say, desert sunsets are the best.
Yeah.
Just me, but
I think I agree with that.
something about it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a pretty good discussion on why we like Utah.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any more simpler than that.
I might also add, like the desert wouldn't be my first pick. I prefer mountains, but just having them as accessible as they are,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think that's a good little segue. We can go into the second part of this conversation, talk about other states, and specifically, this is why I did not choose to go to Colorado, because I've been to Denver a handful of times, and I was like, yeah, it's a nice place. I could see myself living there, but I know that, like, realistically, if I want to really be up in the mountains, like, that to enjoy the true mountains that they have there, you got to drive.
Yeah.
And like here, it's like I literally just have it right. Like if we looked out that window
You could see
on a
it, yeah.
clear day, we could see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be the equivalent of us driving to the Uintas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different kind of experience. And again, if you're okay with that, then you're okay with that.
Yeah.
And obviously cultures between Utah and Colorado are totally different too.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things, like if you really want to have access to the mountains every day, including like after work hikes, we can do that.
Mhm.
You can't do that in Denver.
You literally drive through the mountains to get home from work.
Exactly.
You work in the mountains.
Yeah. Like I drive 10 minutes before I get to into the mountains, like canyons, and then I have 20 minutes that are straight mountain driving.
Yeah.
And how was that drive today?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Was it actually?
It wasn't that bad.
Actually, I looked when we were leaving the house to come down here. I looked at Find My Friend, and I was like, I wonder how far Luke is along, just to kind of match.
I was already
when
here, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were like.
Somehow I made it. Somehow I made it here, like literally in faster time than I feel like I usually did.
Yeah, you were in
I
like
don't know how.
Sandy. I was like, oh, geez, we
Yeah, I
gotta
don't
go.
know how I did, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Be honest though, you were just a little scared of the Illuminati airport in Denver, huh?
I mean, I've been there a handful of times. It's not that bad.
I'd be scared.
Yeah, that's because you're a wimp. But yeah, so I mean, Utah is its own little place, and we love it. It's number one in our hearts and minds. But we gotta talk about the other ones without the context of Utah. And we just mentioned Colorado. We can start with Colorado. If I said Colorado was number 2, right behind Utah, what would you say?
No.
No, really.
Yeah, no.
See, because I would still put Colorado up there.
I put Colorado up there. I don't put it at 2 though.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just because I have. Oh crap! Now what do I have at 2? Now I just had another thought. I was gonna say I think Oregon's my number 2, but then I remembered that Montana exists, specifically Western Montana.
Yeah. So I think the only thing I would contest about Montana is simply that I feel like there's a very small chunk of the state that you say that about.
It is, yeah, and I was just thinking about that. That's kind of why I hesitate to put it that high, but like, it's a really cool part of the state.
It is, I mean, it's amazing.
So, yeah.
It really is. But I think Colorado just has a lot to offer.
It does.
The mountains are incredible.
Mhm.
It's got a good handful of state parks as well.
Yeah.
And so it's just, there's a lot you can do there. A lot you can go explore. You got to drive a little bit, but it's worth it. And if you're willing to put in the work, you get some incredible places. It's beautiful.
I feel like for my opinions on these, I have to say that I've only ever driven north or from the north of Colorado into Fort Collins and then maybe a little bit into Rocky Mountain, and that's all I know about it. Haven't been to Montana yet. Haven't been to Oregon. Haven't really been to any of the Washington stuff. But from my limited knowledge of Colorado, just didn't quite have the same feel for me as Utah does.
Really. I mean, we're all saying that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not nothing new. We're talking about now, take Utah out of the equation.
Well, I think here's the thing.
That's
I
true.
think if Utah didn't have the desert, I would put Colorado above Utah.
Yeah,
So-
the desert's what sets Utah apart.
Exactly. Yeah. And then like the San Juans, just alone, are honestly way cooler than the Wasatch Mountains. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we went a couple years ago,
Yeah,
and
I saw him from the plane coming
yeah,
home from Georgia.
yeah.
Amazing.
I've seen it. I've seen that exact. Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
That is I mean, Colorado mountains are just there's something else, but the desert is just what I mean.
Yeah, we're desert dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, we're biased, Nick. Sorry, we can't ever say something's better
Yeah.
than Utah.
Yeah.
That's what you get for asking us this question.
Exactly.
But
But I still kind of think Oregon.
so here's the thing. I would say, I could give you, if we're talking like 2, 3, 4 even, anywhere in there, I would be okay with Colorado, Oregon, Washington
Yeah.
in any order.
Yeah.
I'd give you any of those. Because to me, they all have their things to offer. Oregon was awesome. I only got to do a little bit of Washington. I want to go back,
Yeah.
especially go see Cascades and Olympic.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like to be fair, like I really haven't experienced much of Washington.
Yes,
So.
but I think all 3 of those, for me, it could go in any order. Like
Yeah.
those would be my next 3, I think.
Yeah. I have a feeling if I spent time in Washington would actually be. I feel like we would both. agree with
Those
that.
national parks look incredible.
Yeah.
And I think there's no doubt in my mind. I think Washington would ultimately be above Oregon.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I
yeah.
think Washington would actually end up
Yes.
being like the top.
Yes, but I think for me, those are like the next 3.
Yep.
I'd put up there. I don't know. BDOTES?
I think Colorado would be my first pick. Washington and then Oregon.
Yeah, you're a mountain guy.
I am.
You're a mountain
Yep.
guy. And Washington's got that too. It's nice.
Yep. I will say from the little snippet of Colorado we did going up into the Rockies, I was like, yeah, these are big mountains.
They're big boys.
But-
They're not playing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you love San Juan's too. I mean,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like there's a lot that Colorado has to offer. But again, this is where it's like only mountains. And again, if that's your thing, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
You're
But
gonna
then
love it.
it's the travel time to get to everywhere.
Yes.
That plays a role in it too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think those are a good next 3. I think if I had to, I just thought another thing though. I was gonna say the next one I throw up there would be Wyoming. I don't think I'd put it above those other 3,
I don't know if I would either.
but
kinda the same predicament as
it's a
Montana.
beautiful state too.
Yeah.
And I say that honestly, mostly out of my love for Grand Tetons.
Yeah.
They're amazing. Now, they also have the Wind River Range.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet, but I'd like to go maybe this year. We'll see. But that area looks amazing as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, outside of that, I don't know, it's not my cup of tea, I guess.
You also get Yellowstone, but I mean
Yeah.
that's the thing is like Wyoming kind of suffers the same problem that Montana does, where it's like the west half is just
Yeah.
packed with so much goodness,
Yeah.
that the rest of it's just kind of
Yeah. It's just like very small pockets of really good things.
yeah.
Whereas, like, Colorado's like just only mountains, like
Yeah.
the whole state, basically.
Mhm.
Well, not the whole state, I guess, because the eastern half is very flat.
That's true. Yeah.
But the part that you're really interested in is basically just entirely mountains, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Wyoming would be another pick right at like in that second or whatever third tier you want to call it now. For me, the one I just realized we didn't talk about that I would also say is highly up there, that's very underrated, is Idaho.
Yeah. I thought about that. Yeah.
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 I was like, what's next? I'm like, Idaho.
Yeah.
Like that's up there too.
Mhm.
You know, people overlook Idaho,
Yes.
and they shouldn't. It's a pretty neat state.
Yep.
Very,
I
very.
mean, the
cool.
bottom half is just potatoes, but you go north and it gets real pretty.
Oh yeah, lots
Yeah.
of great mountains up there.
Yep.
Like there's a lot you can do and have some fun up there. I mean, you've been backpacking up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Couple times.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like there's a lot of good stuff you can do in Idaho too.
I think I'm going to go back to my top 3. I think I would exchange. All right, I'm going to totally change it.
Oh.
I would still keep Colorado at 1, but I think I would put Montana and Idaho at 2 and 3. Just not sure where yet.
Yeah. I think if I had to go live in a different state, I might choose Idaho.
I definitely would choose Idaho.
Yeah, I might choose that one.
Yeah.
Somewhere like on the eastern side, maybe. So you're close to Tetons and stuff too,
Yeah.
and you get up to Sawtooths or whatever, and have some good options for mountains.
Like Victor would be a cool spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But Idaho's up there too. You know, Montana's beautiful, but to me, it's like mostly just glacier.
Yeah.
You know,
That really is true.
just
yeah.
just the case. We haven't talked about New Mexico and Arizona yet. And, you know, New Mexico is very cool.
Yeah.
Lots of really neat things you can see there. Obviously, both states are very dry.
Yeah.
Perhaps drier than Utah, which is hard to believe.
Yeah.
But for me, New Mexico is just, it doesn't have enough that makes me really want to go there.
Mhm.
You know, there's some cool things, but like, there's no way I could live there.
No. Yeah.
No way. And Arizona's kind of the same way. Very hot, but like the areas that I'm more attracted to be more like in the northern area.
Mhm.
And I think it's just hard to see living there.
Yeah.
Maybe like in Page. I don't think I could live in Page.
Oh, I couldn't live in Page. Yeah.
But you have great things. Grand Canyon's there.
Mhm.
It'd be super cool to be somewhat close to that. Sedona would be really neat. Maybe Flagstaff be a place you could live in.
Yeah.
But again, you live there and like you don't have the same kind of reach to other places like
Yeah.
you do in Salt Lake. That's why we like Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Um,
Salt Lake's kind of like, it's like right on the border. Because like if you split the West in half, where it's like desert and then mountains, like Salt Lake is right on that border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like say you go to Denver, you want to live there. Again, by all means do that, but you basically have to drive through all the stuff you can do easy to get to all the other stuff we can go do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's like, I'd rather just live in Salt Lake and I can go do all the stuff you can do. Basically the same effort, I can do all the stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's different, you know? Like, and you don't have the same kind of options as we would here.
Mm-hmm.
But Arizona is a really cool state as well.
Yeah.
I think I'd choose Arizona over New Mexico.
I
New
would-
Mexico
I
is
would
probably
definitely-
my second to last on this list.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Last would be Nevada.
Yeah.
Frankly, I just don't really care. Sorry, Nevada. So I was just there, but doesn't tickle my fancy.
Yeah.
I mean, your no, what is it? Sales tax, income tax.
That's nice.
That'd be nice.
I do
That
that.
would be
I
nice,
find that
yeah.
very
Yeah.
attractive.
Yeah.
But frankly, there's no way I could live in Vegas.
No.
No way.
No.
No way. But
I had friends growing up who lived in Vegas because I, grew up in St. George, and that's an hour and a half from Vegas. So I had some friends that I knew who lived in Vegas, and they were like, "Oh, it's not great."
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think that leaves us with just California left to talk about.
Yeah.
And I would say California is, I mean, if I had to live somewhere just for I don't necessarily want to live in California, but California has great diversity as well.
mhm.
And the amount of different things you can go do and see. The only issue is it's so freaking big
Yeah.
that it just takes forever to get to these spots,
Yeah.
If you go down, you have the Sierras, you have all the national parks up the east side. Northern California is super cool. You have all the beaches. Like, there's so much you can do, but it's just not close.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
I grew up 2.5 hours from Yosemite, and especially now with how busy it gets, like if you're not up there by 5 a.m., like you're not finding a parking
yeah.
spot.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, we have the same issue.
I guess that's only the valley. If you go to the lesser known parts of
Yeah.
Yosemite,
But we have the
yeah.
same issue, though, in, like, say, Zion or
Yep.
Arches. Arches is timed entry now.
Yep.
Yeah. True.
So we have that same issue. But, lots of really cool places in California. But do I want to live there? No, I don't. And so I think, for me, California definitely falls below PNW, Idaho, Wyoming. It's like right in the middle, like right below middle of the pack, I think. Yeah. But again, still super cool place.
Yeah, California has a ton, and what it does have is amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
I mean, the places it has are incredible.
Yeah.
I was just in Death Valley in New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like I have that as my number 3 national park.
Yeah.
All time. Like it's a really cool place.
Yeah. You could probably say that Death Valley has more diversity than Utah does, but you get back to the size thing and the accessibility, you know?
I don't know about diversity, but yeah, sure. You can think that.
You've got you've got the deserts, and then you've got the mountains, and then you go further north and you kind of get into that, you get the redwoods, kind of that rainforesty kind of Oregon
you mean
feel.
California as a whole?
As a whole.
Oh,
yeah.
I think you meant you said Death Valley. I was like, there's no way Death Valley has more diversity than Utah.
No. Did I say Death Valley?
You did.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking.
No, yeah. I could get on board with that potentially.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, that's the funny thing, because like, I haven't been to Redwoods or Death Valley, and I think it's 5 or 6 hours either way.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt long.
It is.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Redwoods
again,
are amazing though.
Yeah.
yeah. But saying super cool state still.
Yeah.
I mean, there's you can't go wrong with any of these states out west. They're amazing. It just depends on what you want.
Yeah.
What you're looking for, how much activity you want to do. Like this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just personal preference.
Yeah.
And we choose Utah.
Yeah. And in most places, like you can do most everything in any of these places, which may be exception of like New Mexico, but like Arizona, for example, has snowy regions. Like
Flag gets a lot of snow.
Yeah, they get tons of snow.
Yeah, parts of New Mexico will as well.
I would imagine. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I think
as
northeast
familiar.
New Mexico. There's some mountains
Really?
up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a ski resort. I think Taos.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, for my point, yeah.
Yeah. So there's every state's got its thing. You just got to find what state works for you, and Utah is ours. Just the way we like it. So
It's the way it is.
okay, I think it was a good discussion. Thank you, Nick, for the suggestion. And we're going to move into a new game we're going to play today. First time we're playing this game. It's called Top 10. I put together a top 10 list that, see what you guys think. See if I can get a little reaction out of you guys.
We don't know what your top 10 list is even about.
Well,
so.
I did put it in our little show notes, but you apparently were not bothering to listen.
You did?
Or read. Yeah, I texted both you guys.
I remember you texted, but
this
I don't remember.
top 10 is going to be about the top 10 landforms.
Oh, I do remember this.
Yes, the top 10 landforms. And for those of you wondering, landforms is just kind of a natural feature that occurs out there in the world. Things like arches or mountains and deserts, whatever.
I do remember this.
So I kind of cobbled together a list of 25 potential things that I'll choose from, and I'll read them off quickly here, and maybe we'll put them on screen. It's a lot to put on screen, but we'll figure out how we can make sure you guys can see the list in total at home. But I have a list of 25. I'm going to narrow it down to 10. I'm going to cross some things off and see if you guys can agree or disagree with some of my takes. Okay? So
right.
the total list that we're going to be talking about today, and some of these won't be mentioned just for the sake of time, and I'll go a little fast through this. We have arches, mountains, waterfalls, canyons, geysers, lakes, rivers, hoodoos, plains, swamps, mesas, buttes, hot springs, salt flats, sand dunes, cinder cones, ice caves, specifically, glaciers, hills, craters, oceans, rocky coastlines, because I wanted to make a distinction between beaches and rocky coastlines, because I think like PNW or like Maine,
Yeah.
And then caves, badlands, and beaches.
All right.
Okay, so those are my 25. Okay, and I'm going to narrow this down to 10. Okay, now, right off the bat, I'm just going to take a few out. We're not even going to bother with these. The first one's oceans. Oceans are dead to me. Not a big ocean guy.
Fine with that. Yep.
Yeah, oceans.
I'm actually okay with that too. Yeah.
I don't mess with it.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
I'm not a big water person.
Maybe
that's why I like Utah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of like weird. Take this pen here.
Yeah.
A lot of weird stuff in the ocean.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a part of that.
We know more about space than we do the ocean.
That's a fun fact for you.
That is a fun fact for this fun episode.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those places.
Yeah.
Don't want to be around
it gives me the creeps. Yeah.
Yeah. And because of that, I'm also crossing off beaches Beaches.
Do it. Yep.
Beaches suck.
I hate beaches.
See, my wife would be throwing a fit, but I'm fine with it.
So would my wife, but yep.
They're probably
well,
sitting
my
on a
wife-
beach right now upstairs.
Well, my wife. She
Oh, you
doesn't
don't have
exist.
a wife. Oh, womp womp.
But
Are
yeah,
you gonna get choked up again?
maybe. But beaches, not my thing.
Yep.
So they're out too. Now,
This is sounding too good to be true.
Yeah, this is a great list.
did we all just become best friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can guarantee you're going to have some issues going forward here. So we're going to start at number 10. I'm going to throw glaciers in at number 10. I think glaciers are really cool.
And number 10.
Massive chunks of ice that never melt. I mean, they made a whole national park off glaciers.
They did.
It's my favorite national park, so I think that means something.
Yeah, they made that national park.
Yeah. Literally made them. But, think about everything up in Alaska, the glacier. You can go hike on a sheet of ice that is moving.
It's pretty cool.
How cool is that?
It's pretty neat.
I think that's number 10 worthy.
All right.
Okay?
I appreciate what they are, but I'm okay with them not being on the list.
Well,
Well, they are on the list.
they are.
No.
Deal with it.
Okay.
Okay, number 9. This might be a little wild card as well. I'm going to throw swamps in there. Now,
Swamps.
hear me out. Okay? Swamps.
All right. Crocodile hunter.
I went to Congaree,
Cow.
and I'm not saying Congaree is an amazing place. It's neat, and I'd like to see it when it's full of water because I didn't really get that experience. It was dry. But it made me realize, this is actually a pretty neat kind of ecosystem and environment, and I think it's really cool. Now, the reason I can't put it any higher than 9 is because I do not like snakes.
I don't like the snakes
And
either.
there's a lot of snakes in swamps.
Actually, I don't mind snakes, I guess. I used to catch snakes when I was a kid.
But, right, and I'm not going to touch them.
Yeah.
I think swimming snakes is different than.
Oh,
I was just-
100%.
I was going to say,
land
that's
snakes.
different than desert
no
snakes.
way.
Yeah.
No way. But I will tell you one thing about swamps, and I think it's why I kind of have this little appeal to them, is something about going to the Everglades and kayaking through that with the alligators. Sounds really cool.
Also, the sounds of swamps are cool.
Yeah.
Like the crickets and stuff.
It sounds really cool,
Yeah, that'd
and
be
you
kinda
don't
cool,
get
actually.
that kind of vibe anywhere else.
That would be kind of cool.
and like
actually.
the
It's just a cool story.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
would be a cool story.
So I
mossy trees are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's swamps. It's a
Swamps?
low key 9.
Have you guys seen the guy on? Well, he's I've seen him on TikTok, but maybe he's on Insta. He's been on Instagram Reels and stuff. But he's the guy who goes into the Everglades. He's barefoot. And he's I'm looking for swamp puppies.
Oh yeah. I've seen
And he's
this.
slapping alligators' tails and stuff. And he's picking up snakes and spiders. And
Plot twist. It was Luke.
it was Luke. Yeah,
It was not me. I wouldn't touch a snake.
dude. No, not a water snake.
But again, swamps, I think low key, number 9.
That's interesting. But I
Again,
mean,
I made a case for
you
it.
made
I
a good
think.
case for it.
Yeah,
I do
did.
like it. Yeah.
I did. Now, we're going to go to number 8. I'm going to throw rocky coastlines in at number 8.
Okay.
And again, I'm thinking more like P&W. I was up there. You've been up there. It's super cool. Totally different vibe than a sandy beach.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Well, technically, sand is just really small rocks.
BDOTES, thank you. But
Your
but
whole
I
list is ruined.
yeah, I think rocky coastlines are just super neat. Go sit up there, watch the sunset. I had a little bit of that too out in Maui, on the east side of the island of Haleakala. Very, very cool to be out there. It's just it's peaceful.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
cool way to spend an evening.
Go check out the tide pools.
Yeah, and I'm not nearly as worried about dying as I would be in a swamp with all the alligators and snakes.
Yeah.
So I think it's got to be above that.
That's fair.
So,
I'll allow it.
well, I'm glad you allow it, BDOTES. Now, I think this is the one that is going to get the most ire from you guys, specifically BDOTES for sure. Number 7. Again, this is not top 5 yet because it's just not a top 5 landform. It's mountains. Mountains are not a top 5 landform. They're number 7.
I'll wait for you to explain.
Yeah.
I just think,
Say, do we jump him now?
at some point, mountains just kind of look the same a little bit. Everywhere you go, it's just pointy ridges. And again, I like being up in the mountains, but it's just something about it. It's just to some degree they get boring after a while.
So, I can see that argument. I think sometimes driving down to the desert the mountains when you're going down.
Yep.
Those get kind of bland.
On the east side of 6. Yep.
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 So
Yeah, and that's kind of,
yeah.
And those are different mountains than, like, say, the Uintas or the Rockies.
Right.
But I think, mountains just, they're cool. But we go see them all the time.
Yeah.
And just for the sake of diversity, I think there's more to be had elsewhere.
Isn't your number 1 and 2 favorite national parks mountain
It's
parks?
besides the point.
No, that's
What?
one of them's a glacier.
Exactly. One's a glacier, and the other
Hey,
is,
you've never been to Glacier.
and the other is honestly solely because of emotional attachment. Number 2 is Tetons.
But like,
Okay.
you don't look at the Tetons and think those are boring.
No, you don't.
those are exciting.
Yeah, those are, yeah.
But most mountains,
Yep.
honestly, frankly, I find Timp to be a very unexciting mountain to look at.
It kind of is.
Yeah, and it's, I just think everywhere we go.
Yeah.
I think mountains are a little overrated.
Yeah.
Just my take on it.
That's why.
I'm not going to hold it against you.
Yeah.
I can see your side of the argument.
Okay. Well, you're going to immediately fight back on this now. Because at number 6, I'm going to throw planes
What
in
the
at number
F?
6.
No, what?
And I got to tell you right now, the reason I put planes at number 6, it's a little bit of my Midwest roots. Planes are beautiful, man. Golden light, something about nice tall grass blowing over. Something about it.
I guess, that is kind of fair. I mean, I've never been to the Midwest, but, like, I've been to the eastern side of Idaho quite a bit. And you don't get, I mean, like I said, this is Idaho, but you still get, like, big, vast plains up in that area of Idaho.
Yeah.
And I've seen a number of sunsets in that area, and it's like, yeah, this is,
Well, you want to talk about
this is beautiful.
eastern Wyoming or eastern Montana, the Dakotas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, there is some kind of beauty about those places that it's hard to
I can see
talk
that.
about.
I don't know if it's number 6. Was this number 6 or 7?
Yeah, it's
5?
above mountains for sure.
I don't know if it's above mountains, but
It's above
I can
mountains.
see where you like them.
So I wouldn't say they're above mountains, but like going out to Antelope Island and walking amongst a herd of bison, like there's a feeling there.
Yeah. Oh no, it is.
And
It's a vibe.
And think about what this country would have looked like if you're going through the Dakotas, Wyoming, before we killed all the bison.
Yeah.
Think about all the herds that be roaming out there.
Mm-hmm.
How cool would that have been?
That would have been amazing. Yeah.
You don't get that in the mountains.
No, you don't.
I'm just saying.
No.
That's why plains are number 6.
You do in the Henry Mountains, there's bison there.
There are.
Sure, we're gonna go hunting for bison. Not hunting. We're not
Yes,
gonna go
I'm saying,
hunting.
we're not that kind.
We're not gonna go hunting for bison, but we are going to go find bison in the Henry Mountains at some point. So
But
we
yeah,
planned on it. Bro, by the way, I've got some camping spots at the Henry Mountains we can check out.
Great. Yeah, Luke's not invited for these dumb opinions.
No,
so,
because he put plains above mountains
yeah.
like a
Hey,
psychopath.
I speak facts. Okay? Only
Whatever,
facts.
Whatever.
Now, we're going to
Continue.
get to the top 5 here. But before we do, I'd like to throw out at least one honorable mention. And that's waterfalls. Waterfalls is an honorable mention. It's outside the top 10. It's just, they're neat. But, I don't know, for me, they don't do it. Yeah, they're just, I don't know, not a water guy by nature, so it's hard to fall in love with them. Don't know, there's some nice waterfalls out there.
Have you ever been to Vernal Falls when it's absolutely dumping in the spring?
No.
Have you ever
That
been
might
to
change your mind.
Have you ever been to Abequa Falls when it's flowing
See, now you know why it's a
thousands of
runner-up.
gallons of water?
No, and I don't want to talk about that. But now you know why it's a runner-up.
Maybe that's why you hate waterfalls.
But it's
you
just one of
hater.
those things, like, I don't know. You know, people photograph waterfalls, they get great photos. I've never seemed to like what I can photograph a waterfall. And just, they're not it for me. Not it. So, they're outside the top 10. Runner-up.
Who are you?
Runner-up.
Whatever.
Okay. But another one I'd like to throw out there, and simply because it's just very neat. I got to go be on one recently, and we have one close to home here. Runner-up is a salt flat. I think salt flats are really cool.
It's true.
You know, do I need to go back all the time? Not necessarily, because they don't really change much. They're just flat. But it's a really cool feature to see at some point in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a really famous one down in South America too, Bolivia maybe.
Yes, those ones are really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
It's
really.
it's real trippy because we drove like probably 3 miles out, and we thought we were getting close to the end, but
You never are.
no.
Be careful when you're driving on the south.
Yes, you never
Yeah,
are.
you might sink a car.
You might.
Yeah, Chandler could talk about that.
Yep. That's why if I were to make a list, Salt Flats would
They'd
never
be
even,
at 25.
No, they would never even be on the list. So.
Okay, so I'm going to share number 5 here. Number 5 is hoodoos.
I think that's a fair 5, actually.
Hoodoos.
Hoodoos are cool.
Who do you think you are putting those at 5?
BDOTES, like always. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
But I think hoodoos are just incredibly unique
Yep.
and neat features to
Yeah.
see. I mean, they look like they're just going to fall down all the time.
Mhm.
You know, do I care to photograph them? Not necessarily, but like they're just. I mean, Bryce Canyon
Yep.
is just that's what the park is.
Yeah.
Man, is that cool?
Yeah.
Really is.
That
It's a-
Queens Navajo Loop it's cool.
It's worth if you can go see it sometime in your life. It's worth it.
Yep.
Really is. So I think it's hoodoos themselves are very deserving of number 5. And there's all different types of hoodoos.
Yeah.
Like the way they look, colors and stuff too. Bryce Canyon is very orange.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there's other spots.
Go to Goblin Valley.
Yeah, Goblin Valley is weird, like rounded hoodoos.
Yep.
And then there's other spots in southern Utah, like you have white ones. Like there's all different looks to them. I just think hoodoos, they're strong play at 5.
That's true. I do agree with that. That's a good
strong,
position for
strong
hoodoos.
play. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's fair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4, I have lakes.
I thought you're not a water guy. What?
Well, I'm from the Midwest. It's all we got back there. But hear me out on this.
Okay, I'm listening.
Lakes is when I think about lakes, I'm not talking about the lakes back in the Midwest, even though that's what I was growing up on. I'm talking about Delta Lake, Lake Blanche. These alpine lakes, man, there's nothing like sitting right next to one of those.
That's fair. That
So
is
now
fair.
that I see that you're diving in, because I thought mountains included all of that, I'm okay with this. I would rather go to the lake part of it, and the mountains are just a benefit.
I have made BDOTES a convert.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. If
I still like the mountains. I would put them on the list still, but Alpine Lakes, they're.
But you know,
they're
I just
solid.
think lakes includes all that.
Yep.
You know, Salt Lake is in there, Utah Lake.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that goes into that.
Okay.
I think it's pretty cool, and I think, you know, photographing. That's why you go to a lot of these spots to photograph the lake.
I mean,
At least include it in the photo.
It's a good spot to have wildlife encounters.
Exactly.
That's true.
I've seen moose in the Lake Blanche before.
Yep.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So I think lakes is a very solid 3. It's not like a super strong play, but it's got a low ceiling but a very high floor in fantasy football terms. Chandler wouldn't understand that.
Nope.
But those of you at home might, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, now we're into the top 3. This is where it gets serious, guys. Now, before we get there, I'm going to make 2 more things that are out. We're eliminating these from the competition. They're not even runner-ups. They're low in the list. The first one is sand dunes. Sand dunes suck.
I agree.
Okay, I don't like sand dunes. I don't like photographing them. Now, I just climbed one that was almost 700 feet tall. It was a cool story, but
It was a cool
mean,
story, bro.
It's a cool story, but at what cost?
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't know.
You get sand everywhere.
Sand just gets everywhere, and it's coarse, and it's rough, you know?
I'm
I
trying
mean,
to remember.
They're cool because like the Colorado ones are just like, why did sand get here?
Exactly.
But
And that was part of Death
yeah.
Valley, too, like the Eureka ones. Like, they're super tall. It's like, there's just nothing, then sand dune, mountain. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Also, I think he missed your Star Wars reference.
yeah, he did. Yeah, that's all right.
He did not get it.
But, yeah, I think sand dunes just suck. So they're not even close to being top 10. Not even close.
Yeah. All right.
But and I think this might be the last one on like 25. And honestly, I don't even know why I included it in this game. But that's arches. Arches suck. Arches
Whoa,
are the worst.
Whoa.
Okay.
That is a
Okay?
hot take.
And may I just make the only example I need, Mesa Arch.
Yeah.
I mean, that is easily the worst 20-yard stretch in all of Utah is Mesa Arch. Okay? So right away, with just that one alone, Mesa Arch, I mean, Arches is bottom of the list. And then you have a whole national park called Arches. There's like 8 you can go see. So, I mean, guys, come on. What are we even doing here?
There's more than 8 in Arches.
Well, yeah, there's like 2,000, but how many of them can you actually go see?
However many you can make it to.
It's not many. But
It's the better question would be how many do 95% of the people who go to Arches
exactly.
That's
go
true.
see?
Exactly.
That's true.
See, thank you, BDOTES.
That is fair.
But because arches just suck, they're overrated. They're vastly overrated.
Vastly overrated.
Vastly overrated.
Wow.
I mean, yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the other items on your list. that could be worse than arches.
There's nothing. I'll tell you right now. Arches are the worst.
I would take arches over beaches.
I would take
No.
a lot of things
Nope.
over beaches.
Arches suck. They're the worst. So
Who are you?
my name's Luke Furman. So we're gonna move to the top 3 here. Top 3, very good picks. I don't think there's any arguing with these at all. Number 3 is canyons. Canyons, I think, are number 3. You think about Canyonlands National Park, beautiful, vast area of just something you can look at all the time. So I think that's awesome. You have canyons that are up by us too. Super neat. I think they're very photographable.
So number 3 for canyons.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I like
think
canyon. I
it's
mean,
fair.
I
Yeah.
love Canyonlands too.
I love canyons.
It's high on my list of national parks.
Yeah.
You think about like the Canyon of Zion too.
I was
there's
just gonna say.
there's so much to like about canyons. It's a very strong player in this game.
Yeah.
That I think it's hard to not like them
Yeah.
at all.
Slot canyons.
Exactly. They include slot canyons in this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong
No.
with canyons. So I think it's a fair 3.
Does Big Cottonwood Canyon count on that?
Yeah. It's a canyon.
Cool.
Exactly. See, there's a lot to like. I mean, what canyon have you never not liked?
Mill Creek.
I'll give you that one. Give you that one. But yeah, canyons at 3.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2. I don't think there's gonna be any contest with this either. Number 2 is Badlands.
Yeah, that's
Badlands. I mean,
there's
Badlands
no
are the coolest things you're ever gonna see.
Yeah.
Wherever it is gonna be, whatever state. Utah's got some good ones. South Dakota, it has a whole national park for them. I mean, Badlands are super neat.
I'm curious what your number 1 is now, because I mean I love me some Badlands.
Oh, Badlands
So-
is a tough one. I mean, that
Yeah.
could be number 1 for a lot of people. It could be 1, but my number 1 is definitely. I mean, it's head and shoulders, clear number 1, and that's craters. Craters are number 1. The best landform out there.
Okay.
Okay, and I think that's solely because just the scale of most of them. There's a lot of them are massive. There's the big meteor crater in Arizona.
Yeah.
I haven't been, but I want to go see that.
Yeah.
Haleakala, the volcano, the national park in Hawaii, crater there.
Yeah.
And I think the main argument for why craters are number 1 and they beat everything else is that you think about the 2 ways craters are made. One is from a volcano, which amazing.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Wicked.
Lava,
Yeah.
explosions.
Fire.
Awesome. Exactly. That's what Haleakala is.
Yeah.
Super cool. So how could you not like that?
Yeah.
Right? And the other way is by something from space coming down to Earth and impacting the ground.
So a boom or a boom?
Exactly. How could you not like that? How is that not number 1?
That's true. That's okay. You win me on that. Yeah.
See?
You totally won me over.
I mean, there's nothing that beats some space debris coming and colliding with our planet.
No.
I mean, we are lucky to be here.
We really are.
One of these craters was made, and at the same time, all of the dinosaurs went extinct.
Dude,
That's how.
you just made craters so cool.
That's a number 1 pick, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way around it.
Gosh.
I'm sorry, but craters is
Man,
number
we
1.
gotta. You want to go to Craters of the Moon this weekend?
Maybe.
Maybe.
See, I'm sure you guys never thought about this.
I
as in
didn't
depth.
think about that. No.
I took time to think about these
You really
answers.
did. Wow.
And I'm content with my list. I'm very sure about it.
All right.
I don't care if anyone disagrees.
I'm still thrown off by some of your picks, but
Oh, there's solid picks. You can't argue with them.
whatever.
They're good.
gosh.
But I guess just for a quick recap at home, even though I think I'll put them on the screen. Number 10 was glaciers. Number 9 was swamps. Number 8 was rocky coastlines. 7 was mountains. 6 was plains. Number 5 was hoodoos. Number 4 was lakes. And now the top 3. 3 was canyons. 2 was badlands. And number 1 was the best of all, craters. I mean, doesn't get any better than craters.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point.
can be hard to photograph because they're so big.
Yeah.
But freaking cool.
Crater Lake. You've been there. I've never been there.
Oh, man. So cool.
I regret not going because we
Exactly.
drove by
See?
it, and I was like,
See, it's just
yeah.
craters, number 1.
All right, I think you sold me.
Number 1.
So
What do I do best? Putting a good list together.
you are a list guy.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Okay. Hope you guys liked the game at home. Had a little fun with that. See what we can get out of the guys here. BDOTES was a little quiet.
Yeah, I was just taking it all in.
Trying not to show his anger.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to do this from time to time. Maybe if you guys like that. If you have comments, please leave your comments below in the video. Love to hear what you guys have to say. I mean, I'm sure all you will agree with me on craters being number one.
I don't think so, but...
Well, you're wrong. So, but yeah, we're going to move on to the very last segment of the show. Every single episode now, we put a new item on the back of our table here.
Yes.
So we're going to continue that tradition today.
We've acquired quite the collection.
We have, and it's kind of fun to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when we first put up the hat first episode, I was like, oh, that's nice, but it's very empty.
It grew pretty quick.
Yeah, and I mean, the amount of episodes we've done now.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see.
Yeah,
so
it really is.
We got another one today, and again, if you're listening at home, we will gladly add an item that you would like to add to the table.
Yes.
If you have something you'd like to send us. So please do. But until then, we're going to go with an item today, and BDOTES has an item for us.
Yes.
I do. I disappeared from the screen because both of our phones' storage was full, apparently. So I'm going to go stand next to Chandler and show you what I have.
Yeah, we'll call that producer error.
Yep.
Yeah, because I totally anticipated that.
Here
All right,
comes.
let's see what you
BDOTES.
got, BDOTES.
So this is what it's like to be over here.
Yeah, get that mic a little closer to you, bro.
Okay. All right, I'll kneel down. So I have a couple things. The main one is goes along with the diversity we have here. It's a little rock climbing guidebook.
Like rock climbing for dummies?
Yeah. It shows maps of different places with the routes drawn on pictures and stuff. And I don't rock climb much anymore because I had a kid, but
And you like to live.
I do.
So.
But I thought this would be kind of fun to add. And then since we have several books already, got a couple geodes to act as little bookends. So
Those are cool.
yeah,
I love the blue in them. That's going to be out of focus. Just hold it by yourself.
yeah, Utah rocks.
Yeah, that is one thing. We'll kind of tie out this episode of why we love Utah. We have the best rocks.
We totally have the best.
We have at least 3 different kinds of rocks.
I think it's funny actually when you and I started living together, we didn't have a collection of rocks. Now each of us has a collection of rocks.
Yeah, I even got some from Death Valley.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah. And like, and you even have like bottled sand from some of these locations.
I got like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
A bunch of geology
Utah.
nerds now.
Utah's the best rocks.
Yeah. Utah really does bring out the geology nerd in everybody.
Yeah, it's cool.
It is, yeah.
Very cool. So, yeah, that's a cool thing today. BDOTES will set that up in the back of the
Great
table here.
addition. Dude,
The
these
geos
are
for bookends will be nice, and
these are
we'll
so cool.
rearrange the desk a little bit just to, clean things up. So,
one thing that was really cool about living in southern Utah was growing up next to rock shops.
yeah,
We had rock shops all over town
yeah.
when I lived
I can tell you
in
right
southern
now,
Utah.
we did not have that in the Midwest.
Yeah, no. And then
No
it was
rock
like
shops.
big things like that. Some of them up to like
Yeah, oh yeah.
3 or 4 feet.
Mm-hmm.
The petrified wood was always cool.
The petrified was cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the little fish and the
The trilobites.
yep.
Dude, we used to collect trilobites when I was a kid because you could just go outside and
Can you
find
even
them.
spell trilobite?
Not anymore, dude. If you had asked me when I was, if you had asked me when I was 5, yes, I would have been able to. I was.
Well, I mean, you're like 12 now, so.
Well,
not that
exactly.
much longer.
That was 6 years ago. It was a long time ago.
I'm pretty sure it's only TRILOBITE.
See, I don't think that's that hard a
pretty
word.
There's a Y in there somewhere, I think.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, again, more things that are cool about Utah. So,
We have dinosaur fossils.
yeah, we got everything.
Yeah.
We got everything. So,
We have the Utah raptor. There's not a Colorado raptor.
yeah, I mean, come on.
So
There's a Ford Raptor.
All right. Well, like every episode, I feel like we end just going off the rails. Probably because we go too long, but we're going to end here. So, hope you guys liked the episode today. Guys, any last words?
nothing for me.
Nope.
All righty.
Utah rocks.
Yep.
Utah does rock. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.